You know where this is going.
Oh, Francisco.
Oh, Francisco.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Nomad Things podcast, the real story of digital nomading as a family. In this episode, we'll talk about some of the different transport options in Madeira.
We've talked before about the buses and how good they are for getting out to walks and the advantages they are compared to having a rental car. But there's a little bit more you need to know about the buses.
So last year, 2024, they decided to amalgamate the 3 different bus companies around the island into one super company called Sega. It still hasn't been fully implemented.
It was implemented last July or something.
Maybe
June, July, and there are some headlines in local newspapers saying, and it still might not be happening.
So they basically deleted all the information and say that those old companies no longer exist, but they haven't updated all the new information. They just kind of pulled all the different bus routes, chucked them onto one website, and good luck, because a lot of buses, more than one bus route, all have the same number. All the buses are still their separate old company colours. They say the bus stations are closed, and yet, as we found out,
that's where
you can still catch the buses. They're still being used. And they haven't updated the signage on any of the bus stops. Some bus stops have no signage at all. Using your favourite word, signage.
Sign. They're just called signs. Back when I was a kid, we used to call signage signs.
Just signs.
Just signs.
Weird.
But the other thing about it is, despite having spent tens of millions of, let's face it, German taxpayers' money, they've ended up getting rid of the prepaid buses, the tap and go, like you expect on a modern bus system. That's all gone because they discontinued that with this new system, and now there isn't one. So you have to pay in cash.
Yeah, you have to pay in cash, and even the locals, I think they've only just bought in new tap and go cards, I think, for the elderly residents.
Yeah.
But it's still having some hiccups, and no chance of us getting anything like that while we're here. So yes, as John said, cash. Cash. Who would pay cash all the time?
Which is okay. It's not a drama for us, but it'd be annoying if you're a local.
Yeah. And the locals don't often know what's going on either, because when we were trying to figure out our first bus ride out to BDWA to the PR8 walk at Contra de Salarens, I checked with the landlady if she knew where the bus went from, the infamous 113 bus, and even she didn't have a clue. She said she was down in town the other day and couldn't figure out the buses to get home, so she rang with her husband to come pick her up.
And we ended up finding it at the old Cam bus station, which is one of the old bus companies that's been discontinued, and the bus station is definitely shut, as it says everywhere. And that's where all the buses go for that company. If you knew that company did that bus route, you knew that was where it went because you used to live here.
Yeah, and the bus timetable happily says Funchal.
Yes,
that's where the bus leaves from, Funchal.
Yeah.
So whereabouts Funchal? We figured it out. Bus station, and there's also a bus stop on Avenida del Mar, Temple of Comunidad.
One of 20 bus stops.
Yeah.
Down on.
And to be fair, it's a shiny silver, newish looking bus stop, but it's got no signs on it, no timetables, nothing. I had my suspicions that it might have been the bus stop it stopped at, but didn't want to risk it, especially not getting down there at 7:30 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Not wanting to drag the boys out of bed and then missing the bus. That would not have been favourite. So luckily we went to the bus station and got it there. But even when we got there, there were some French people there, and they
stood there clueless. There's no in the bus station, no information, no signage.
No, the office is closed. Because obviously the company doesn't exist anymore.
So there's no personnel there. There's not even a bus stop sign. There's just bays that you go, oh, that's where you park a bus. And then the bus pulls in, blank, because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait for the driver to get around, get in. Yep, everyone's starting to board, and then he'll flip the sign on. And you go, any idea where you're going?
And there's like a huge sigh of relief around. Everyone's sitting around. Yes, that's the bus.
And then again, those French people got on first, and then they said, "Are you going to Madeira?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, of course I am." I was like, "Of course you are, mate. You haven't pressed the sign yet, so it doesn't. The bus doesn't say anything. There's no signs anywhere of anything. There's no numbers. There's no stands. There's no schedules. There's no personnel. There's nothing. And you've got the hump because someone had the audacity to ask you, where is this blank bus going in this bus station that's shut?"
Yeah. Anyway, so the interurban buses, which that one is one, they've changed all the fee structure now. Who know the pricing?
Oh, they just make it up when you get on.
I don't know what it used to be, but it's now a flat €2.60.
Yeah,
per person, regardless of age. And so we thought Alfie, because he's still 12, just he'd be half price, but no.
You get on the bus. No, it's cheap enough. Pay the full price. That's what the first bus driver said. No, it's cheap enough.
Yeah, which is true. If you're going a long distance, it's argan.
Yeah.
If you're going a short way, it's not so much.
But again, you go on armed with the information you can glean from the official website of the Sega bus company, which is the only information left because they deleted everything else. You get on there, and then the bus driver will make a snarky comment of, well, how dare you not know what the things are? Well,
but the bus drivers are lovely in general. Yeah. And they're awesome drivers. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Although, don't ask for 3 people.
Oh, yeah. Every time, because I get pushed to the front to ask. And so 3 is...
Not all the time.
Trash, isn't it? Portuguese. Something like that. Trash. And if I say trash, the bus driver will inevitably say, huh? Tre?
Did you mean tre?
Tre? And so, okay, so you're not pronouncing the S on the end, fine. And so the next one, I'll go, tre. And they'll look at me funny and go, huh? Trash? So I can never get that right.
There's 8 ways to pronounce a Portuguese S, and I think they make it up.
So buses are good, confusing, but hopefully, well, it's only been, nearly a year since they've been sorted out. Surely it'll get sorted out soon.
It's local government in an EU country. Nothing could go wrong.
But yeah, anytime we go anywhere out of Funchal, we always look at the option of ride sharing as well, because so the buses for the 3 of us, I said it's €2.60 each, which is €7.80.
I knew.
For the 3 of us. And so we look at Uber and Bolt just to check the price of just doing that as well. And I read a lot before we came here how Bolt was the main ride sharing company operating here in Madeira. But in actual fact, we found Uber to be better, cheaper. I've also got the Uber One subscription, the premium thing. And quite often the Uber prices, so they always check, and even just coming up from the city, it's a good €2 or €3 cheaper than the Bolt price. So that's for the Uber One subscription. You get a discount, but even without that discount, it would have been cheaper than the Bolt.
And this is what you would do, depending on your family size or if you're a solo traveller, is you just do the calculation. $2.60 per person. So for us, how much was it again?
$7.80.
Good, correct. And then on top of that, because they'll drop us down, usually by the teleférico, by the cable car, we'll have to get a ride share back up the hill because it's a very steep hill. So our flat kind of cheapest way we could get back to here away from Funchal is €13 roughly. So when we are somewhere a bit closer, like Valley of the Nuns or something like that, we'll look on the rideshare apps and go, all right, how much from here? And it may be €15 to get to where we are now, because not in the centre of town. And we'll say, well, for €2 more, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, just get an Uber all the way home. but it doesn't work everywhere. I think we were in Southend,
Oh, yeah.
and we were thinking, oh, do we just try and get a taxi all the way home instead of waiting and figuring out the buses, because we're taking the slow bus there. And it was going to be cheap enough. I checked the price, whatever it was, and but couldn't find a driver. Basically, most of the drivers are in Funchal and down on the south coast here. Anywhere else on the island, I think you just have to be very lucky that there happens to be someone who's just dropped off another person where you are, and so they're in the area and are happy to pick you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up back on the bus anyway. Yeah.
In that one, yeah. But if you were in Funchal, there's no way you'd be driving car. So ride shares become essential. If you are like us, we're staying up in Lievermont, which is 15-minute walk for us down, and we have walked back up, but
I take a long time.
you take a long time, and if it's hot, it's not a pleasant walk, and
Not a pleasant sight.
no, no. I was being nice, but yeah, it's straight in the shower time. So you use the ride shares a lot, but the thing is staying up here, looking at the average price of other places, we would be saving £25, which is what, 35 US dollars a day on accommodation. But a Bolt or an Uber up here is only €4 or €5.
Sometimes even 3.
Even €3. So it can cost you £2.50, $3 US, up to £5, £6, $7 US. That's a considerable saving, considering the walk down is nice. You get nice views and easy enough.
Yeah. And yeah, whereas the local buses, the local Funchal buses, the yellow ones, horário, they would, because of the couple of bus wrecks that come close to where we're staying, but that would cost us €5, wouldn't it? 2 adults at €2 and a child at
if we indeed got a child rate, who knows?
Yeah, so that would usually cost us more than what the ride shares cost us, and you have the hassle of waiting around for a bus.
And we got to walk to a bus stop to catch a bus, and walk from the bus stop back here. I mean, one of them is right at the end of the road. That's a kilometre walk.
Yeah.
And there are no footpaths. That's the thing. Once you leave the main pedestrianised area, there are no footpaths. You are just squeezing along the road and hope. And they're all vertical walls because the roads plunge down. And the retaining walls either side are holding the gardens from falling in.
Yeah, Alfie's had a fun time with that, hasn't he, dealing with going from somewhere with no cars to suddenly you're walking on the road with cars. And even though the roads are narrow and windy and hilly, they don't tend to slow down terribly much, do they?
No.
And we've had some fun rides in the ride shares. Some of the drivers are quite chatty and entertaining, and it's a good place to practice some of the Portuguese that we picked up. It's probably where we've used most of it.
Or Spanish if you get a crazy Venezuelan.
Yeah, there's quite a few Venezuelans here who started driving for Uber.
Yeah, I had one the other day, and if you've spoken a language for a while, you don't realise what language is being spoken to you. It just gets translated in your head or something. I don't know how to explain it. So we're in the back of the taxi, and the taxi driver she just says, "Oh, it's the Google Maps is showing me to go left, but it's a longer route that way. I should go straight. It's a much more direct route." I was like, God, Portuguese really is so similar to Spanish, because I just picked that up. I understood that. And then it was like 2 seconds later, oh, that was Spanish. Oh, she's Venezuelan. And then she proceeded to tell us all about her mafia uncle and the breakdown of law and order in Venezuela, and how he's a mafia boss. And
yeah, she got a 5-star review. She got a 5-star review and a €2 tip.
But the best part was we're on the road with the baskets come down. The famous Madeira basket run.
The wicker baskets.
The wicker baskets. And she just follows Google Maps, and we're going, No. Oh, no.
I turned down that road, don't turn that road.
So she turns right down there, and we're following a basket all the way down, and there's one stuck behind. So they had their once-in-a-lifetime dream butt wicker ride on this subtropical island, and all they saw was this
In a taxi.
taxi just about 2 meters in front of them going super slow. Oh, man.
Yeah. So I guess that's another transport option then from Funchal, isn't it?
Yes, but that was entertaining for for good reasons. That was fun. Whereas, and you get the entertaining of awesome people like
Sergio. He was also, he spoke really good English and is very, very chatty and interested in what we're up to. But unfortunately, it was the shortest ride we've ever had. Yeah. We've never gone the same route twice with the drivers. But Sergio chose to just go whoop, straight up the hill, which was amazing. We're like, you could do that? Because everyone else seemed to zigzag around or go completely random directions. Yeah, and he was hilarious and lovely, but very short drive.
He took two or three turns the whole time, but we still didn't. It didn't feel. I know you said straight up the hill, but it didn't feel like a vertical drag. We had a young lad.
Yeah,
he went up the most direct route I think there would be. And God, he nearly blew the gearbox out of his car, and he grounded it.
Yeah, you must lower your car. I don't think Funchal's the place to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then he couldn't turn because not every turn you can make. The road is there. It's 2-way. There's no problem, but it's a big drop on a hard curve. You can't always turn. And so he had to go shooting up all the way up to Mont and back down again.
To overshoot up.
Yeah. The whole way. And still, that's not even close. Dude, you know where this is going.
Oh, Francisco. So yes, one day we'd picked up some groceries, and so lots of heavy things, wine, beer, essentials, and ordered an Uber to pick us up, and it was fine. Okay, so driver found Francisco.
Pick up in 4 minutes.
5 minutes?
3 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. 1 minute.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
7 minutes. 4 minutes.
And the wee little
Francisco has arrived.
I can't see Francisco. Francisco.
8 minutes. 9 minutes.
Francisco has left with you.
Messages, Francisco. Understand. Where are you?
Yeah.
On my way.
Yeah.
So we were getting kind of grumpy, thinking, oh, he's just picked up other rides and has, just bumped us. He's coming, but he's found better offers in the meantime.
Yeah.
And but no, when he eventually turned up, what were his first words?
So,
Disculp.
Disculp me.
Basically, I got lost. Turns out it was his first day on the job. And things weren't going well. We were his first ever pickup.
Yes, and then he said, "Where are you going?" Because he'd accepted the ride somehow already, and then I don't know what he'd done, but he'd sort of gone through all the steps of the ride already. So I think all the directions had gone and all the where we were actually going. Because he's, "Where are you going?" So we explained to him, and he looked blank. I've never heard of this place. So then we, this is in broken Portuguese, but enough. Anybody could understand this, So we're like, okay, we're going to where the wicker baskets end. This is in Portuguese as well.
Like a famous spot.
Yeah, we're saying in Portuguese where it ends. Oh, yeah, in Mont. Yeah. So he goes this way. Now, Mont, it doesn't take too much imagination to realise in English that might mean mount or mountain, like. And if you know Funchal, it's at the top.
Yeah.
So he's going this way, towards the sea. Like, no, Francisco, up. And then he says, oh, I'm sorry. Do you speak Portuguese? We're like, well, we're trying. I said, no, how about Spanish? Can you speak? So I asked him in Spanish, can you speak Spanish? He said, oh, yes, I can speak Spanish. I don't think he could speak Spanish. At that point, he was so panicked. I don't think he could speak Portuguese.
No.
He just started pressing all the buttons.
He rang the office to ask for help, and I don't know exactly what they told him, but that didn't help at all. No, and he was just getting more and more flustered, the poor fella. And then so I ended up pulling up my phone and...
Well, I'm shouting instructions at him in Spanish to at least get him up the hill.
Yeah, and so we got him up the hill, but then he took a wrong turn and went up. You take a wrong turn, you end up the wrong hill because there's big valleys in between the hills. So we ended up heading off towards the Botanic Gardens, which is not where we wanted to go.
No.
And
so Cheryl's in the front, and he's now got her Google Maps up on the dashboard, trying to run that. And you're going, you need to turn around in English, and turn around, and I'm going in Spanish. Do a U-turn. Turn. No, none of this is working. And then we go around this blind corner, and I just go, because I don't want to panic him anymore. And I go, was that light red?
There were some roadworks.
There was some roadwork.
Yeah, and he hadn't seen the red light, and suddenly there was a bus.
I saw the bus, all right. This bus hurtling down the hill because they have right of way. Yeah, they do have right of way. And the bus screeched to a halt. I mean, you could hear the tires screeching. And then he's now lost it. He's complete gibbering wreck. And all he has to do is a 3-point turn. They've coned off one lane, but there's nothing actually going on in this part. That's just to filter you out.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is reverse between the cones. It's only a little car, a little Renault something. And then do a 3-point turn. A 4-point turn would be fine. You know, I'm not fussy on both lanes. It's not like it's narrow. I was about a 48-point turn.
It was stressful.
Where he's complete gibbering wreck. We finally get him up here. We finally get out of the car after a couple more incidents, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then he never closed the ride for like 4 or 5 hours.
No, yeah, poor Francisco. He was so out of it, wasn't he? And to practice out, so it was like, no, faz mal.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, when he was off on his way, I was like, awesome, good luck. And, but he never entered the ride. In fact, he'd never really started it. He'd arrived at the pickup point, but that's all he'd done. So then later that day, I was like, I've not had the final ping thing, you know, because I thought, well, I can't give him a 5-star review, can I? But, you know, I don't want to be too mean because first day, poor bugger. And so eventually I messaged him to say, oh, Francisco, I don't think you've ended the ride.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you in a ditch somewhere?
And anyway, he must have sorted it out because it eventually came through. But then I got a €10 extra charge because we'd kept him waiting. Which I thought, no, definitely not that.
No.
So obviously I disputed that and we got that money back. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
First days on the job. Hopefully he's gotten a bit better by now. We've not heard him back again.
No. But it doesn't fill you with confidence walking down the streets. But yeah, so there's a mixed bag with all the transport. If you're in Funchal, if you're on your own, buses might do it for you. But as soon as there's 2 or 3 of you,
buses don't become the cheaper option, do they?
get a ride share. It's either cheaper or the same, and the convenience, obviously.
Yeah. And just to note about the yellow taxis, the official taxis, like in a lot of places, just got to watch them, make sure they put the meter on. And if you are doing the wicker basket ride, don't get a taxi at the bottom of that back into town. They tend to fleece people, try and charge you like 20 euros to take you down to town. So either just walk down the hill, there's a bus stop right there, or hook up with a Bolt or an Uber.
But not in front of them.
Oh, that's fun.
It's no.
Hope you enjoyed that. We are Nomad Things, and we'll be back next time with our general food strategy and our food budget in Madeira. In the meantime, if you like our content, hit the subscribe button, check out our blog at nomadthings.guide, And of course, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Time.
Yeah.
And